Top 10 Best Korean Movies. Looking to check out some great South Korean cinema? Here are some perfect picks to watch on Netflix. Hey guys, welcome to your entertainment channel Netflix Tops, where we tell you about the top-rated movies and series on Netflix. So, subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Now grab your popcorn and stay with us until the end of this video, because today's video is going to list down the top 10 best Korean movies. So, let's get started. Number 10. Pirates: The Last Royal Treasure. The story follows the exploits of Captain Hae-mi and her crew as they head off in search of a lucrative treasure. However, along the way they run into a group of fishermen and cross paths with the charismatic Mu-chi, who boasts that he's the best sword fighter in Goryeo. After some double-crossing, disagreements, and disaster, the two sides join forces in order to find royal gold, which can set them up for life. Number 9. Burning. The film begins with a love triangle that leads to the disappearance of Hae-mi, a broke girl who searches for connections, meanings, and means of survival. She meets Jong-su, her old neighbor and working-class aspiring writer working on a novel, and tells him about her upcoming trip to Africa in order to witness a great hunger ritual in which people dance in search of the meaning of life. Jong-su, who grows up without parental love, falls in love with Hae-mi, who returns from a trip with a new boyfriend. Burning, a 2018 South Korean thriller directed by Lee Chang-dong and based on Haruki Murakami's short story Barn Burning, slowly unfolds into a story about the search for the meaning of life. The film chillingly reflects the young generation's rage as a response to the sense of isolation in South Korea and beyond. It highlights class and gender inequalities through the vastly different circumstances of many characters. Yet at the same time, the movie almost imperceptibly dissolves such boundaries in their shared struggle within an alienating postmodern society. Number 8. The Beauty Inside. A woman changes her appearance whenever a certain supernatural phenomenon occurs. A man falls in love with this woman. Se-Kye, Seo Hyun-Jin, is a top actress. She is known as a troublemaker and the object of many rumors. Her life is a mystery, but in reality, she suffers from an unusual phenomenon. At a certain point every month, her appearance changes to a different person. She lives 1 week out of every month with a different appearance. Se-Kye meets Seo Do-Jae, Lee Min-ki. Seo Do-Jae is an executive at an airline company. He seems perfect with an attractive appearance and possessing smarts, but he suffers from an inability to recognize faces. He hides this disability and tries hard to memorize people by their habits and mannerisms. The only person's face that he is able to recognize is Se-Kye. By meeting her, his life changes. Number 7. Minari. A Korean-American family moves to an Arkansas farm in search of its own American dream. Amidst the challenges of this new life in the strange and rugged Ozarks, they discover the undeniable resilience of family and what really makes a home. Those who have watched Minari know what a true treasure director Lee Isaac Chung was able to create. The film, starring Steven Yeun, Yuri Han, and Alan Kim, highlights a Korean-American family's move from California to the Arkansas farm in the 1980s and their quest for stability and success amid arising challenges. The cinematography of Marini is remarkable. The sound effects and visuals came out as very elementary yet very pleasant. The plot, climax, and end followed the continual path, which keeps you engaging without the need to create high-octane suspense-inducing scenes. This film portrays that each character plays an important role in the movie, rather than spinning around only one or two characters. Number 6. Peninsula. 4 years after South Korea's total decimation in Train to Busan, the zombie thriller that captivated audiences worldwide, acclaimed director Young Sang-ho brings us Peninsula, the next nail-biting chapter in this post-apocalyptic world. Jun Soik, a soldier who previously escaped the diseased wasteland, relives the horror when assigned to a covert operation with two simple objectives: retrieve and survive. When his team unexpectedly stumbles upon survivors, their lives will depend on whether the best or worst of human nature prevails in the direst of circumstances. Rather than go with the continuation of the plotline and characters from the 2016's strongly received South Korean zombie apocalypse action horror hybrid, Train to Busan, with the sequel titled Peninsula, writer along co-writer Park Jong-suk and director Young Sang-ho has opted to tell an entirely new story within the same universe. It's a universe that now resembles Mad Max with zombies and the sort of kinetic, propulsive action to be expected from Korean cinema. Number 5. Right Now, Wrong Then. South Korean director Hong Sang-soo has long been associated with quiet dramas, exploring human relationships and interactions through nostalgic dialogue. Renowned filmmaker Ham Chun-soo, Jung-jae-young, arrives in Suwon a day early for a screening of one of his films. While passing the time, he notices a young woman, Kim Min-hee, and is immediately smitten with her beauty. Later, as he's sitting by a temple, he sees her again and decides to strike up a conversation. The woman, Yoon-hee Jung, knows who he is when he introduces himself and agrees to accompany him to a coffee shop where she tells him more about herself, saying she used to work as a model before deciding to pursue painting to feel more fulfilled. Right Now, Wrong Then allows its characters to dwell in conversation in long, uninterpreted scenes where Hong attempts to build on his realist sensibility. Number 4. The Villainess. Bloody revenge is at the heart of this stylish, kinetic action thriller that gives a welcome shot of adrenaline to the classic femme fatale story. Honed from childhood into a merciless killing machine by a criminal organization, assassin Se-Kye is recruited as a sleeper agent with the promise of freedom after 10 years of service, and she jumps at the chance for a normal life. But soon enough, secrets from her past destroy everything she's worked for, and now nobody can stand in her way as she embarks on a roaring rampage of revenge. Number 3. Midnight. Midnight is a Korean thriller movie portraying a deaf woman who accidentally witnesses a crime. Kyung-mi works at a sign language call center as a sign language counselor. On her way home, she witnesses a young woman's murder. The murderer, Do-Shik, is a psychopath and serial killer. As a consequence, Kyung-mi becomes Do-Shik's next target. A young deaf woman and her mother battle with a serial killer after they accidentally interrupt one of his kills. A deadly game of cat and mouse plays out across the city as the women try to stay one step ahead of their pursuer. Midnight may have been infuriating at times, but it was also as heartwarming as it was terrifying. Number 2. Little Forest. Hae-won, Kim Tae-ri, gets tired of her difficult life in the city and moves back to her hometown in the countryside. There, she heals her emotional wounds with the help of her longtime friends, nature, and food. Little Forest, a young woman moves back to her childhood farming village in the countryside to escape the hardships and disappointment of city life. Even though it doesn't offer any surprises, this slice-of-life drama by South Korean director Im Soon-rae is an endearing and understated celebration of nature, food, friendship, and family. The film's protagonist, Hae-won, a 20-something-year-old who aspires to be a teacher. She has just failed her teaching certification exam in Seoul, works a deadbeat part-time job at a convenience store, and is on rocky terms with her boyfriend. Disenchanted and exhausted, she decides to return to her farming roots in the countryside, inhabiting her old, empty house, which her mother, Moon So-rai, left behind after mysteriously vanishing years ago. Number 1. The Wailing. Suspicion leads to hysteria when rural villagers link a series of brutal murders to the arrival of a mysterious stranger. Soon after a stranger arrives in a little village, a mysterious sickness starts spreading. A policeman, drawn into the incident, is forced to solve the mystery in order to save his daughter. A masterpiece of atmospheric horror, The Wailing is long, intense, and ambitious, but it never feels like a slog. It also borrows elements from across the landscape of horror, from zombies to demons to creepy kids, but never turns into a messy patchwork. The story centering on a police officer racing to save a village from a mysterious virus before it can claim his daughter unfolds gradually enough that it all seems natural, allowing a sense of dread to envelop you like a fog. And this brings us to the end of the video. What are your thoughts on today's video? Share with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for amazing movie reviews coming your way. And thank you for watching.